Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cut's non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
I'm your other host, Nero.
Today we've wrapped up Season 2 of Animated, which makes it the second season that we've completed.
That's right. And it's just another adventure with our good pals, the Autobots, and their normal, regular, made of flesh human friend Sari, who has normal bones and organs.
Think about how incredible it would have been if it got canceled after season 2.
Oh my god.
That's the last image we're left with.
Oh, that would have been that would have been something else. That would have been like Twin Peaks How's Annie shit, right? Just like you'll never know until fucking forever later. Oh. Yeah, so we watched the last 3 episodes of Transformers Animated Season 2, Sorry, No One's Home, and then A Bridge Too Far, Parts 1 and 2. Or excuse me, A Bridge Too Close. I forgot about the play on words there.
It's the twist.
The little joke. So, there's a lot of shit that happens in this finale here, but before that, we have to do Home Alone.
Yeah. It's the Home Alone episode.
Complete with Joe Pesci.
Really?
Mixmaster's performance is based on Joe Pesci.
Oh, yeah, right. I was about to say, like, in what role?
No, he's just sort of a Pesci-esque figure.
Yes, he is.
And one of the things that struck me when I was watching these episodes was like, I'm still so bummed that the Constructicons never got any toys from the animated line, because
that's crazy.
I know it's one of those things where it's like they just never got around to it. I guess they weren't really like a big priority. I'm sure that in season 4,
but they make toys for everything. They make toys for shit that never shows up ever.
I would imagine that the plan was in season 4, when, spoilers, the direction they were going obviously is that Devastator would be a thing. I would imagine that they were planning on making a Devastator toy and just using them then, but like season 4 of this show never happened. But yeah, because there's concept art of animated Devastator. Like we know that was the plan, but
yeah, you are much more of an animated head than I am.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You know much more of the like non-canon stuff.
I've read all 3 of the Allspark Almanacs. I've read the fucking. I haven't read the Stunticon job, but I've read most of the post-canon stuff.
Oh, can I tell you, and you can decide whether or not to include this in the final recording or not, a crazy story from my friend.
Sure.
So I have several friends in the Transformers franchise who mostly write reader insert porn. And one of them has a friend who I don't know, but who is a lesbian and got an unintentionally hilarious comment on their Transformers fuckfic. And the comment is, "This is nice. Rant. Can I just say how annoying the whole Val plus Spike thing is sometimes? It's usually in most of all stories I read. Is this canon or just a popular fan? It just feels exclusive to gays and lesbians. Oh, only great to buys. But this is nice. Is this canon?
Is this
canon? Is it canon?
Is this how they fucked in the show?
John Hasbro, is it canon that they have pussies and dicks?
Is this true?
John
Hasbro, is this true? Holy shit.
Is it canon?
That's fucking amazing.
Oh my god. We'll never know.
Canon or not. But yeah, so
Sorry, I can't stop thinking about it.
Once we get to season 3 of animated, I'll do like a whole our season wrap up for that is just going to be me talking a lot about the sort of scattered bits of animated ephemera that exist like after the show ends, because there are some things and
sure,
and we have an outline of what season 4 was going to be, and man, it sounds so cool, and I'm so
we
mad.
could have had it all rolling into deep.
And you know what it was that destroyed it? The worst movie, Revenge of the Fallen. Because Hasbro wanted animated to scoot out of the way. So
Michael Bay release your occasion.
So that here comes Revenge of the Fallen, and just like takes a fat wet shit all over everybody. It's like, there you go. Anyway,
we love it. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
I have some questions for Bumblebee in this episode.
Okay.
So we start off here, and it's like Sari and Prowl are running this obstacle course. Sari's not great at it. Prowl's obviously very good at it because he's a cyber ninja. And so Bulkhead comes in really mad because there's a drip sound that is just constant, and it's coming from Bumblebee.
Well, I do want to point out that like Prowl's going through this course first, and then Sari's like, well, if a big robot can do it, I can do it too. And she cannot.
No, she is but a normal, small human child with regular bones and organs, as I said before.
Oh yeah, I forgot about like Bumblebee's Excel Saga side story.
What
in this episode?
Okay, so there's a lot of
massive blood loss.
Yeah,
that occurs in this episode.
He's got just a hole in his arm that is leaking oil, which
at incredible velocities.
Yeah, like it there's a bit later where there's just a colossal oil slick around him. It's like, buddy, you should be unconscious. But yeah, Bulkhead is really I'm with Bulkhead here. I hate the sound of dripping water, and he is so mad about it. He's like, get that shit fixed. Stop leaking everywhere, you fucking slob.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when the guy's got a point, he's got a point, right?
Yeah, and like, Ratchet says he should come in for a tune-up, and Bumblebee's like, no, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm in perfect working order. And then he waves his arm and sprays oil everywhere.
The only reason this doesn't become a bigger issue is because the news.
Yeah, it doesn't really come up that much, really. It only comes up here, and then later when the Constructicons follow it home like a fucking stink trail on a pie.
Yeah, the comedic massive blood loss.
So, okay, we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about the oil, okay? Because this is it's a problem.
Uh-huh.
So, oil before it was like beer. It was like alcohol. It was delicious beverage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, to be fair, that has always been the case for Energon.
Yeah, I guess that's
Energon
true.
has always been substance and also blood and energy.
It's
plasma.
Well, it's like because that one's different because like one Energon is like a nebulous energy thing, but also like it's glowy, and you can definitely tell when it's like blood Energon versus like Energon people are eating or whatever, right? Like it's treated differently.
I mean, it's treated. I mean, I would argue that oil is treated differently here too.
They are licking the blood oil, though. They are slurping it when they're following the trail back. They're licking it.
All right. Well, to be fair,
is Bumblebee full of
Mixmaster and Scrapper are degenerates?
They are. They are true fucking freaks. But like, is Bumblebee just full of Miller High Life, the champagne of beers?
I think the better question is all of them full of Miller High Life, the champion, the beers?
If only Mindwipe were in this fucking, or Ratbat were in this continuity, he'd be. Wait, no, I forgot there is a Ratbat later, but he doesn't suck anybody's blood. Sad.
Bummer. I miss Ratbat.
I miss Ratbat. It's really funny that he was a senator. It's even funnier when he holds power, and he's always like that, though. Which is
He's
the
literally
case
Mitch
some...
McConnell. What are you talking about? It's very on point that he's a senator. That man is literally Mitch McConnell.
It's funnier when he's like a senator or a leader of some kind, but he's just always the bat. Like, he doesn't get transmogrified into the bat like an AEW. Because like sometimes he is a leader, but he's just a little bat.
I do like, though it is really funny in IDW that he gets a sound wave assigned alt form.
Yep. He gets the surgery. So yeah, the news interrupts this talk about Bumblebee's leak. The Constructicons have reappeared. If we'll remember, Bulkhead blew them up and it like wiped their memories. So they're just they're on like a bar crawl, basically, is what they're doing.
Yeah, that's I would say a very generous legal description of what they're doing.
Well, actually, what they're trying to do, because they remember one thing. They remember one singular thing from their past. And it's that they had a really, really good drink of oil somewhere, but they can't remember where that is. So they're trying to figure out where it is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, the Autobots are already halfway convinced that they're working with Megatron. For no reason.
They're like, well, it's like, they kind of dropped off the map. They don't really know what's going on. They're like, Optimus.
Yeah, but they're the ones who fucked them out. Anyway.
They're just like, well, we should probably go and get them before the Decepticons do. And also they leave Sari at home because it's dangerous.
Right. And for some reason this time she actually listens.
Yeah, she's like, oh, fine, whatever.
I think like Optimus is specifically like, hey, do you remember like the last time that they were around and how they like shorn your pigtail off?
It's like, do you remember that time you almost got decapitated?
And I think that she's like, all right, fair.
But of course, they're the only ones who saw the Constructicons. We see Megatron send Blitzwing out after them because he's like, oh, hey, those guys, I should probably get them. They might come in handy.
Yeah.
So Bumblebee's still leaking, and he, like I said, he leaks a trail all the way back to the factory. Bulkhead is sick of that shit, so he just slaps a bumper sticker over the gash in his arm, and that fixes it for now. For now.
Won't for long.
Uh-huh.
Won't for long. Sari is really annoyed about being left home alone.
Until she realizes. Uh-huh. Oh, wait.
She's been left all alone.
Yeah, it's literally the moment. Man, I can't believe they left me home alone. Wait, shit. I can't believe they left me home alone.
I'm going to eat every piece of chocolate in this factory and no one's going to stop me. You know what, folks? She does.
It's really nice that the Autobots got her some, like, vending machines. I presume that it's not actually, like, money-based, that it's just, like, she has a candy limit imposed by someone, like, probably Ratchet.
Ratchet or Prowl or Optimus.
Yeah, it's definitely not Bumblebee.
Or Bulkhead.
No. But she uses the key to just make it spray out all the goddamn candy. But meanwhile,
it's Halloween every day, baby.
We get Mixmaster and Scrapper following that trail. It's like, shit, here's some oil. Maybe this leads to the place we had that real good shit. So they go.
Country roads.
Oh, yeah. Also, I forgot to mention a really funny thing that Megatron does hand Blitzwing on a barrel of the good stuff to lure them back to the Decepticon.
Oh, yeah.
Base. He knows
he's
what's
like,
up.
I've got this on lock.
It's like, I know exactly what will sway them to my side. It's literally just this.
And he is also correct.
That's right. He understands. He understood the assignment. So
really a terrible union contract that the Constructicons get the first time.
This is literally that bit in the Simpsons episode where they're gonna give up the dental plan for the keg in the break room.
Yeah.
Dental plan. Sari needs braces. Dental plan. Sari needs braces. Anyway, Mixmaster melts the fucking door in because he can do that.
Which is like less of melting in and just sort of melting away.
Yeah, he just sprays acid.
Yeah. It's not that, like, the door comes off its hinge or whatever and, like, goes over. It's just gone.
So they're busting in, and they're looking to see. And yeah, Sari doesn't hear. She's got her headphones in. Oh god, she can't hear the cement mixer coming.
She has AirPods in.
And she literally almost runs into them as the Constructicons are like, have we been here before? This feels weirdly familiar. And also, I don't think good things happened here if we have been here before. The vibes are bad.
Yeah. Sari's reaction when she does almost literally run into them is pretty good, I have to say.
Yeah.
Which is to say, she does what every little girl does in a situation where she's around adults that she doesn't like, and she just opens her mouth, inhales as deeply as she can, and shrieks. And they take this as, like,
a sonic attack.
A sonic assault. Which I guess it kind of was.
Yeah, and we get... Yeah, they are stunned by this, and she runs away. Yeah, not only are they strange adults she doesn't know, they're also, like, 30 feet tall. The Constructicons are so big, even compared to other Decepticons. They're fucking huge.
And they almost decapitated her the last time she saw them.
And, they aren't, like, trying to kill her or whatever. They're mostly just like, god, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah. Again, they can't remember anything. They just want oil. But
they're like, shit, maybe that weird, shrill creature knows where the oil is.
Yeah, though, Scrapper's like, I think maybe this is why we don't remember anything. But Mixmaster's like, maybe, but oil good, so.
Yeah, but gotta get that good shit. Bumblebee
assaults some ball bearings.
A random cement mixer.
Yes, and then
Sparkplug.
Bumblebee is hospitalized.
Yeah, well, Sparkplug is driving it, except he has a surfer voice for some reason.
Yeah, what was that?
Weird, like, we want to do our cute Easter egg, because this design has appeared before. I think he was in the Space Barnacles episode. But yeah, this voice that comes out of him is just like, hey dude, what are you doing? Bro.
Oh, no, sorry. The actual line I have here is, dude, why are you wailing on my truck?
Why does he sound like that?
I was like, what's happening here?
Classic Detroit accent. Bro, what are you doing here?
That's what Detroit sounds like in the future, though.
Go Pistons. But yeah, so yeah, then that sticker pops off, and literally a torrent of oil just comes pouring out and soaks the entire road. It's like, you should be dead, Bumblebee. You're a little guy. You don't got that much blood in you, boy.
Now, the other option that we've seen oil used for before is in the races.
True.
Where we said it was a big sloppy shit, probably.
Yeah.
So maybe he just has IBS.
Out of his arm?
Yeah, why not?
Get that shit checked out, man. I don't know. There's some weird shit going on with you, Bumblebee.
What, you think he has an asshole? You think this robot has an asshole?
Is that canon?
Is it canon? Is it canon? Or is it just fanon?
So, Sari is hiding in her room, and she's trying to formulate a plan. Oh, also Blitzwing. Now Blitzwing got explicit orders from Megatron's like, hey, go find the Constructicons, get them back here. Don't fuck with the Autobots. I don't need that heat right now. I'm almost done with this plan. Like, just get the idiots and come back here. But Blitzwing, he can't help it. He wants to get in that scrap, To
be fair, Megatron sent the tank jet.
Yeah,
this is not a subtle machine.
He's really his only subtle guy is on Cybertron right now. He doesn't have his choices right now are pretty limited as in terms of like subtle guys. It's Blitzwing and Lugnut. Very unsubtle fellows, these two. Maybe if Black Arachne was more of a team player,
She's not even on the team at this point.
Yeah, no, she's just off doing her own shit. Like, she is not. She's basically
never mind team player.
Yeah, she's basically just not a Decepticon anymore.
Yeah.
But no, Blitzwing gets into a fight with the Autobots. Meanwhile, Sari decides it's time to do some Home Alone shit to fight these giant robots.
Yeah, she has a war council.
Yeah,
which is like distressing. We should examine that. Why Sari is so imperialist.
I don't know. I mean, some Dak is big into like World War II films or something. I don't know.
Well, he's certainly into the police state, isn't he?
That's right. He loves it. But yeah, her plan here. I've got a few notes. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, do you accept the constructive criticism? Sure. It sucks. That's not constructive.
She skates out on her rollerblades and whacks Mixmaster with the hockey stick, which doesn't do anything because he's a big robot.
and she literally looks at them and goes, "That was as far as I got with my plan."
But yeah, thankfully she remembers some other things.
She's able to skate away.
Yeah, she gets away, and she remembers.
I just really quickly, as she skates away, I want to mention the line from Mixmaster here, which is after she like breaks the thing, like Mixmaster's like, "I think you're right. I think that is the reason everything went shit terrible."
Yeah.
The last time we were here. But Scrapper's like, grow a backhoe and let's get some oil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, grow a backhoe. Also, at some point, Mixmaster says, "What the front loader is going on here?"
Oh, he does, and he is so heavy on that F. It is the front end loader is was that.
Let him curse. I want to hear Mixmaster go, "What the fuck was that?" So it's time for some Home Alone shenanigans. You know, we get all of our setup things. We have the obstacle course. We have the oil. She tricks them into, like, you know, she lays an oil trap because they love the oil. Then she spills it on them and sets up the obstacle course to completely whip their asses because they are not Prowl. These two are not especially agile.
Cybertron's finest.
No, they don't.
They're not Cybertron's anything, to be fair.
Yeah, they literally don't know what Cybertron is.
Yeah.
When Megatron's making his big speech, they're just like, "What is Cybertron? I don't know what that is."
They're like, "Hell yeah, what's Cybertron?"
Hell yeah, man! I don't know what he's talking about. And so they are literally spanked out of the fucking factory. Like the metal claws spank them on the ass.
Let me see. There's also a line here before where I can't remember. Where Sari, after her first failed attempt, is watching them almost break her TV.
Right.
And she's like, "You can destroy the factory, but I draw the line." And all I could think about was that Community meme. I can accept racism, but I draw the line at destroying my TV.
To be fair, Bulkhead destroys the factory like every other Tuesday. This is normal.
Blitzwing is doing something. Elsewhere, Blitzwing is doing something to Bulkhead. I don't know what that is.
He's doing something all right. He eventually takes Ratchet hostage to, like, cool the Autobots down. And then Megatron calls him and is like, "Hey, what the fuck did I say? Hey, Blitzwing, can you tell me the one thing I told you to do?" Blitzwing's like, "Oh, right. I gotta go, bye." And he just leaves.
Yeah, and this is right. This is the point where they finally get spanked out of the factory.
Yeah. Before they fall on some oil. That's what she does. She usually like spill the oil.
My note here was, I think this is a hate crime.
It feels like it.
Yeah, She also says on the way out, as she watches them like leave, where she's like, "Wow, this hero stuff is really tiring," and it's like, "This is not hero stuff, beloved.
It really is.
You were not the hero here."
They just wanted a drink. They would have left me. I bet you they would have left me. Just gave him a drink, or at least been like calm, you know.
Get like literally done none of this. You would have been fine.
But yeah, they run off, and the Autobots return. And at first, Optimus is very relieved that Sari is fine and unharmed, that she fought the Constructicons off. And then they go inside and find all of the fucking candy wrappers and shit strewn across the floor.
Also, we didn't talk about it, but like, she's almost unable to move because of how ill this chocolate makes her.
Oh,
in the episode.
Yeah, she is immobilized. She is fucking lost in the sauce.
She will never change. She'll never improve. That is a promise.
Oh, she'll change, all right.
Well, she'll never improve. That is a promise.
But yeah, then Mixmaster and Scrapper run into a weird guy, but he's got some really good oil. So, you know.
The Decepticons just absolutely crushing the recruitment war, if nothing else. Just dominating the recruitment war.
I guess the Autobots have Wreck-Gar, but he's at the bottom of one of the Great Lakes right now. So like,
and they don't know that. So
yeah, they think he's dead. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. We literally get like the Looney Tunes circle around Blitzwing and the boys as they walk back.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Which brings
finale time.
Oh boy, a lot of shit happens in this fucking finale.
Yeah. So, Bridge Too Close Part 1, we start at an incredible point.
Yes.
Where the Constructicons immediately at the start of this episode have completed construction on the space bridge. Which, like, goddamn, that is unbeatable 5-star Yelp review service. Cannot beat.
They're really good. They're really good at what they do. There's a reason Megatron was like, I need these guys.
It's not much, but it's honest work, and it's fast, I can tell you that much. So, like, it is such... Watching these, like, in a row without pause, that is such an incredible transition.
And I do choose to believe it is, like, the next day.
I think it's in, like, 3 hours.
Yeah, and as a reward, they're getting their Decepticon brands, and we get to see a little bit of the Decepticon oath, which is like basically just swearing your loyalty to Megatron and the Decepticon cause to liberate Cybertron from the Autobots. Which is interesting. That it's weird. I guess the implication is that once Cybertron is back in control, Megatron would begin to spread Cybertronian influence across the galaxy. That's usually what he wants to do. You know, a great Cybertronian empire or whatever. But right now his goal is just Cybertron.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Megatron's goals in most of the cartoons are not all that well defined.
But in this one, he's like, we're gonna get Cybertron. We're gonna overthrow the Autobots. We're gonna take back control of it, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah,
it's important to have steps in your goals. You can't be thinking too far ahead.
Yeah. Listen, it's a 5-year strategic plan.
That's what Prime Megatron's problem is. He's always thinking about crazy shit like, oh, fuck, I'm going to be so full of Unicron juice, and I'm going to fucking beat Optimus until he's on his knees in front of me, and then I'm going to, and we can't figure out if what happens next is canon or not.
And then I'm going to discharge the sexual energy somewhere, and probably it's who's ever closest to me, whether that's Optimus or Starscream or Shockwave or Dreadwing. I don't really give a shit.
God. So they get and by the way, the Decepticon
Ratchet, the thing he did with the Energon was hot.
Oh man, the Megatron Ratchet stuff in later Prime is crazy. Yeah. I'm going to steal your boyfriend, Prime.
So fucking weird. There is a lot of really weird psychosexual stuff going on with the Prime Megatron, just in general.
So he's an odd duck, that's for sure. But this Megatron, he's got his shit together.
A lot of untapped energy that he really just sort of discharges off on anyone who's closest to him.
I love that the Decepticon brand gives
fucking
you
Jack
colors. Oh god. Yeah, he's just always ready to fucking beef with anybody and everybody. It does not matter who. But yeah, so the Decepticon brand gives you evil colors, by the way.
It does. It makes you green and burble.
Yeah, and it gives you red eyes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, very, very useful. They're holding Blitzwing and Lugnut are holding candles during this, by the way.
Which is definitely on Lugnut's insistence.
Oh yes, he's like, it's important. We must stand on ceremony.
Ritual.
And they they're turning on the space bridge. It's time to turn on the space bridge, but oops, it doesn't work.
Now, Sumdac has not actually purposely sabotaged a space bridge at this point.
I don't think so. I think they just fucked it up.
No, he's just, like, stupid. Or, he's not stupid, he just, like, doesn't get Cybertronian technology.
Yes.
So they need an expert in space bridge technology. Who must be on Cybertron, right?
Oh, God, So before we get this scene with Shockwave, which is incredible.
Yeah.
It's time to welcome 5 beautiful new friends into the world.
They're gonna piss on the moon!
We got up to the moon, where...
That's right! They're gonna piss on the moon!
Starscream has finished the ultimate exercise in fucking narcissism by making,
No, that's just one of them.
God, that's true. 5 clones of himself. Each of them that none of them will ever be named in the show, but they all have names and they all look like guys we've seen in the past.
Skywarp is the coward.
Yeah, Skywarp is the coward. Thundercracker is the egomaniac.
Is the narcissist. Yep.
Sunstorm is the sycophant. Ramjet is the pathological liar. And Slipstream is question marks.
So Slipstream is a lovely, fairly intelligent female seeker who is the one who has to point out to Starscream as the other clones start displaying their personalities that they are each a trait of his personality. So he goes over to her and goes, "Oh yeah? So which one are you?" And she goes, "Don't ask." So
what's going on there, Starscream?
The literal gay part? Like,
I think so.
Just literally the gay part?
I don't... he contains multitudes, as demonstrated here.
That's right. He's multi-dimensional.
He's bringing all of them to life with little shards of his Allspark shard in the middle of his forehead here. And yeah, so we unfortunately don't get too much time with Thundercracker and Skywarp, as we'll see shortly. But I do love all of these clones. I especially love Sunstorm and Ramjet, who are very funny. I think because
which one is Ramjet?
Ramjet is the liar.
Oh, right.
He's the gray one. Who says, "I am the original Starscream," and Starscream goes, "No, you're not. I am." And Ramjet goes, "I never said I was the original Starscream. What are you talking about?"
Goofy.
But yeah, so they all fly off to or they don't fly off yet. They're just arguing. This is where we get Megatron calling Shockwave and being like, "Hey, I have a big ask. I need you to locate the premier space bridge expert on Cybertron and somehow get him here." And Shockwave's like, "No problem, boss.
I got good news and bad news."
Yeah, so he looks through his fucking Rolodex real quick and he's like, "Huh." Yeah, so he's not on Cybertron. He's on Earth. And here's a picture of him. And he puts up a picture of Bulkhead.
Which really shouldn't surprise anyone at this point.
He specifically said he wanted to be a space bridge engineer. And yeah, the fact that no one knows this is just a real condemnation of all the Autobots not taking interest in their friends' hobbies.
And, the big issue with Bulkhead here, much to the detriment of the Autobots in these 2 episodes, is that no one, specifically with Bulkhead, no one takes him seriously about basically anything.
Yeah. And so he has Blitzwing and Lugnut. He dispatches them to capture him. But he asks them to... Megatron actually sets out to capture Bulkhead personally. And then he says Blindswing and Lugnut to pick something up from Sumdac Tower that we don't know what it is yet. And
that he's going to use to blackmail.
He says it's to keep Bulkhead in line. We don't know what it is yet, but it's something that, you know. And then Blitzwing points out that, like, hey, probably not great idea to leave Sumdac alone with the two new guys who are, you know, a little stupid. And Megatron,
and very much not immune to propaganda, as we've seen.
Literally, I got them to follow me with a barrel of oil, and it will not be hard for the genius scientist to figure out a way to trick them into letting him out. And Megatron's like, that's a good point. So he just duct tapes Sumdac to his fucking cockpit and flies off.
And then Sumdac died from G-forces.
But someone overhears this conversation. Oh shit, who's that? It's that blue guy.
Here comes Speed Racer.
It's that blue guy from Velocity. This is when we cut over to the auto base, and we see Bulkhead working on a lovely little cubist painting of Sari.
Of course he has blue paint and pronouns.
Despite and everyone fucking shits on it. No one gets it. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
What?
One of you, look.
Oh, the art, or the painting.
Yeah, no, they all shit on his painting.
Yeah.
They're so mean to my boy Bulkhead. And they all backseat artist him. They all fucking have their own little suggestions. Like, Bumblebee wants warm colors. Fucking Ratchet wants cooler colors. Prowl's like, put a tree in it. Optimus says it needs a caption so people can tell what it is.
Alt text, yeah.
And he because like we see the start of it, it's like a very classical Picasso painting, right? And then a classic style like cubist painting, and then once, you know, he's furiously painting, and after all the feedback, what results looks more like a fucking Edvard Munch painting. It looks like the Scream.
Yeah, and you know, he's talking. Afterwards, he like takes a walk with Sari, and she's like, "Why did you change it?" He's like, "I just want to make everyone happy," and she's like, "Okay, but that's not making you happy. So what's the point?"
It's like
it's a sweet moment.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, an artist doesn't do things because they want to please the people around them. An artist does the things that feel good to them. That's what they want to do. You don't got to care about what they think. And then Bumblebee runs up and is like, yeah, you don't got to care what I think. I think it looks like shit and sucks and fucking stinks. And Sari goes, you can help less. You can shut up now. You can stop talking.
Don't worry, he does, because we get Mr. Blue Racer in again, who does more talking than anyone else in this show. That's right, it's animated Blur. He's here.
Actually, first, Megatron shows up. He's here. Like, before...
Oh, you're right.
Megatron literally just attacks them. He just shows up. I love... Animated Megatron is the best one. He will literally just pull up and start blasting. He doesn't give a shit.
Right. The argument that that Blur interrupts later on is whether or not Sumdac is working with Megatron.
Yeah, because when he transforms... Sumdac is now fucking tied across his chest as a human shield.
Right. And Sari's like, he's a human shield. What are you talking about? And Bumblebee's like, I know how humans work. That's how they do it. That's the sign of working together willingly.
Yeah, so everyone, Bulkhead is fighting Megatron. Bumblebee gets distracted because this is when that mysterious blue guy shows up, and Bumblebee's like, oh shit, I knew it. He's a Decepticon. And so he gives chase and abandons Bulkhead to fight Megatron alone. And then, he corners...
He abandons his boy.
And then Blur, because, surprise, that blue guy is Blur. That's right. And who is indeed voiced by John Machida Jr., who voiced Blur and G1. He's the Micro Machines guy, the talk fast man. And he
is also a member of the Elite Guard.
Yes, he is specifically an Elite Guard intelligence officer, which I wonder who his superior is. That's probably not
I wonder who he gets shipped with a lot.
Yeah, I wonder who he directly reports to.
I wonder what the most popular ship in animated was.
I wonder who he's been feeding all
I'm
of this
winking
intel
so aggressively.
Yeah. I wonder who he's been feeding all this intel he's been gathering on Megatron to.
Oh boy.
Who can say? But yeah, he tells
Can I just say though, the fact that like Shockwave just like gives up the ghost at the end of these episodes, like
so funny.
I was just like, why did you do that, dude?
No. He just wanted to get on the gloating. He thought they were done. He thought they were fucking clean through, you know? But he couldn't have expected what happened.
Spent millions of years planning this and doing all this shit, and then you just fucked it. Damn, dude. You fucked it worse. You did it worse than anyone's ever done it before.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like he's been doing it for so long. And he's like, oh, we're almost here. We've almost won. Finally, I can see the looks on their fucking faces. But
99% of grievers give up, stop bargaining right before their loved ones come back. Keep begging.
But you know, then Omega Supreme happened, and he couldn't have really anticipated that, unfortunately. But yeah, so Bulkhead gets taken away. And yeah, Blur explains that he is a Cybertron Elite Guard member, like stationed on Earth to monitor Megatron's activities. He explains all this very quickly. That's his it's Blur. We know what the joke of Blur. Fast.
Right, and the joke being like, at the end of it, he goes on or whatever. He's like, "Are you following so far?" And Bumblebee's like, "No, I lost you after you said your name," or whatever. Could you repeat? Or no, he's like, "Could you repeat the last part?" Which last part? Like everything right after you said your name.
Everything after the name's not zippy. All of it.
Yeah.
So Bulkhead is back at the Decepticon base, and he's like, "I'll never work for you, Megatron." And Megatron says, "I figured you'd say that. So I had my boys get this thing." He brings out a headmaster unit, and he's like, "Look, if you don't build me my space bridge, I will hack this headmaster unit, take control of your body, and murder all your friends with it."
I think Kim's new legs are so cute.
And
yeah.
Yeah, and this part where he's like, "Mixmaster Scrapper, help me," and they're like, "Do we know that guy?" No, I don't think so. I don't remember that guy.
Yeah, Bulkhead is left basically with no choice but to work on the space bridge.
Yeah, Megatron literally says, "You have no friends here, Autobot." Oh, another bit I love from Megatron earlier.
What?
The thing I like is that he does not know any of these dudes' names, because he's like, "I will find this Bulkhead guy," or whatever, once Shockwave tells him about him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know these fucking guys. He doesn't know who Optimus Prime is.
He may know who Optimus is at this point.
He might be able to remember his name, but he definitely doesn't know anybody else.
No, he definitely doesn't know any of the other Autobots.
He's the short, loud one.
He might know Optimus at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it is of all Transformers media, this is the series with the least sexual tension between Megatron and Optimus.
Yeah.
They don't even know each other. Fuck.
It's the Mad Men elevator scene. Fucking I don't think about
it
at
yeah.
all.
I feel I feel sorry for you. I don't think about you at all. That one?
Yeah. Yes, that one. So they, Blur explains to the rest of the Autobots what's going on. He knows where the Decepticon base is. And so he gives the orders. They're gonna Ratchet and Sari are going to go to the ship to try and Optimus says this. He says, "Try to wake him up one last time." He says, "Wake him up." So keep that in mind. And then the rest of them are going to go break Bulkhead out. At the same time, Starscream and the clones fly out. And this is where we get Bulkhead and Sumdac talking here. Where...
Yeah. Where Sumdac's like, "Oh, I love this great plan of yours."
He's
where
like,
you're
"Oh, there must
obviously
have
going
been-"
to like sabotage it, right?
He says, "Oh, there must have been some weird mistake that says you were the brilliant space bridge engineer." And Bulkhead's like, "Are you fucking serious? I'm not gonna take shit from a guy who's been helping Megatron for the past 3 months or whatever. Okay, I'm just, like, some deck's like, yes, we'll make the space bridge," and he's like winking a lot, but
Yeah,
Bulkhead.
and Bulkhead's like, no, fuck you, and out of
Yeah.
spite, I'm going to do this perfectly, and then he does, and Subdeck's like, are you kidding?
I love this so much. Like, Bulkhead is so sick of everybody going like, the big dumb Bulkhead, he can't do anything right. It's like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna make the best goddamn improvised space bridge you've ever seen.
out of pride, he absolutely does help Megatron get exactly what he wants.
And Subdeck is like, what the fuck, man? So the Autobots attack right as they turn the space bridge on.
And they are joined in their attack at the same time.
Yeah, so they pretty quickly get rid of Blitzwing and Lugna. They put him in the stasis cuffs. And they bust into the main rooms like, Megatron, we're here to stop you. And then the ceiling explodes. And...
Well, also, the Autobots get rid of Blitzwing, but they also get fucked pretty quickly up by Mixmaster.
They bust and it's like, Megatron, we're here to stop you. And Mixmaster just goes, splort. And they all get stuck to the wall.
Yeah. With that sticky icky.
Yeah, the Starscream and his clones are here, which brings us directly into A Bridge Too Close Part 2. Everything is happening all at once.
Everything happens so much.
Yeah, so the clones and Starscream fucking attack. Bulkhead and Sumdac are trying to deactivate the space bridge. The Autobots are just like, what is fucking happening?
So... they have the same like argument again, basically, where like Sumdac's like, why would you do this? And Bulkhead's like, I don't want to hear this from you, the guy who like brought Megatron back to life.
Yeah,
and I will say, in Sumdac's defense, he didn't know that. He didn't know what person Megatron was, and he didn't even know that he would be bringing Megatron back to life. So, Bulkhead, I'm sorry, you are actually not correct in this one.
He's spiritually correct.
They're trying to deactivate the bridge.
They're just like, alright, we'll argue about this later. We gotta do this shit. All hell has broken loose. There's fucking Starscreams everywhere. Great
googly moogly, it's all gone to shit.
Thundercracker immediately gets fucking gooped by Mixmaster. He gets gooped by Mixmaster. Skywarp gets stasis cuffed by Blur. But then all of them get stuck together again by Mixmaster. Skywarp, Thundercracker, and Blur are all stuck together. And they all just go through the space bridge.
Yes. And Bulkhead, because Blur is caught up with that, like Bumblebee's like, you gotta get him back. And Bulkhead's like, I don't know if I can, because no one set any goddamn coordinates.
Yeah, the space bridge is not aligned yet, which means they could be literally anywhere.
So
it's probably fine.
He's trying to get them back, but Slipstream puts him in stasis cuffs.
Yeah, so he rumbles with Slipstream. He like fucking power bombs her at one point, but no, she's good. She reverses the hold and puts the stasis cuffs on him.
I think she might be the competent part of Starscream, actually.
Yeah,
which is the same as the gay part of Starscream.
She's the girl boss part of Starscream.
She is. I mean, clearly, they were trying to imply something queer. With Joan-esque.
But Starscream is fighting Megatron one-on-one. Well, for a little bit. Because then Ramjet and Slipstream also gang up on him. And Starscream is literally just about to kill Megatron with his own sword.
Which would have been so tight.
It would have been so tight.
And would have been so tight.
It would have been sick. And the most shocking save in the world, Optimus runs in.
Optimus with the steel chair!
Yeah, and even Megatron's like, I didn't expect you to fucking save me. And Optimus is like, I didn't
save you, I stopped Starscream.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to deny him his victory so that you can fucking go back to Cybertron in chains instead of getting murdered on Earth by your shithead lieutenant.
Who's apparently not a shithead and almost just murdered you.
He's really good. Like,
yeah.
You know, Megatron's like, these fucking clones won't stop me, but the clones are pretty good.
It is, like, really funny, and we'll see a lot more of this in season 3. But Starscream suffers a bunch of indignities in this episode. But
he goes through it. He takes a lot of L's.
He's not, like, cowed by any of it.
No.
Right? He's just, like, annoyed. And, like, even when he's in really terrible situation and it's like, we're about to kill you for real, he's like, yeah, like, just try it. And they're like, we're gonna take the spark shard out of your forehead and kill you for real. He's like, I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. Go for it. Try it. Try me.
Prime Starscream would be begging for his life, like, halfway through.
Every other Starscream would be, except maybe Armada.
Yeah, he's built different, and so is animated Starscream.
Yeah.
He is an unstoppable treason
bitching machine.
Yeah. No, Cyberverse Starscream is the unstoppable bitching machine.
Oh man.
We're on Dinobot Island. We got Ratchet and Sari trying to kickstart this ship. And Sari is increasingly confused by how much affection Ratchet is showing this ship. And he's talking to it.
Hey, Ratchet, did you fuck my ship, Ratchet? Did you fuck my ship, Santa?
And he's like, yes, now we gotta move.
Do you think Omega and Ratchet explored each other's bodies?
Quite literally, Ratchet did, in fact.
That's
I believe
true.
We'll see.
That's true. Do you think they knew each other biblically?
Oh yes. But yeah, they kickstart the ship and it starts talking in Kevin Michael Richardson's voice. And he hasn't named for a while, but it's Omega Supreme. This is Omega Supreme. Yet another character who I'm so sad did not get a toy. Because I love
his
this
design is great.
It's so good. Like, oh my, I'm just looking at it now. It's like, oh, it's so like nice and pleasant to look at. I mean, obviously it would have been but you know, they had the big rollout Command Optimus Prime. They had the big price point toy sizes. They could have made one, but no. Revenge of the Fallen had to come out. We have to fucking market that shit.
I just really quickly, I do want to talk about, I guess we did talk about Kevin Michael Richardson when we talked about Prime, didn't we?
Yeah.
So he's Bulkhead. He's Bulkhead in Prime, but he's also, as a reminder, Captain Gantu in Lilo and Stitch, which is one of my other favorite roles from him.
He is one of the most prolific voice actors out there. He is in like everything.
Certainly
he's voice actor.
Yeah. He's also like 20 different things in Prime, mostly Bulkhead, but like other things as well.
He's also a lot of Viacons, probably. Like, he's just some guys.
Yeah, he was Makeshift.
He's really good in this. I remember him, and now he's gone forever. Gone too soon. Gone for being too OP.
You were funny.
You were really funny. But yeah, I honestly really love this Omega Supreme. Because, like, you know, Omega Supreme so often, like, the classic Omega Supreme is like the stoic, almost super robotic voice. But he's just a guy in this show. And
he's having
so
a
happy.
tough time.
He's having a tough time, but he's so happy to hear Ratchet.
Yeah, well, that's because they knew each other biblically.
That's right. Ratchet, that old man fucked that ship.
Can't believe I'm getting canceled.
Is it canon?
Is it canon? Is it canon? Or is it just fanon? Is it canon?
See, I can't edit that out now because that's going to be the title of the episode.
My friend, like, texted me being like, I've just spent the entire day repeating, is it canon? To myself in increasingly high pitches. Is it canon? Is it canon? Is it canon?
Fucking wonderful. So, we get back to the fight. So Megatron uses Prime as a human shield.
This is
really
brutal.
Funny.
This is the like shittiest thing I think he's done.
Yeah, it's nasty. He's like, "Oh, thanks for saving me, man." Yoink. Just uses it to block some fire.
Yeah, like right. So like Starscream and Megatron are fighting one-on-one in heavy quotes because Megatron's choice of shield is literally just Optimus's limp body.
Yep. And also we have Ramjet and Slipstream also there. And I think also Sunstorm is in the mix. But he oh, by the way, Scrapper has gone to retrieve Lugnut and Blitzwing. But Mixmaster is still here, and he tells Megatron tells Mixmaster to, focus on Starscream, the main one, the real one, right? Like, get him out of here.
No, the head one.
The head Starscream, and Professor
This is important.
Wait a minute. Yes.
And he's like, oh my god, it's time for some Tom Kenny on Tom Kenny violence.
That's right, because he fucking climbs into the headmaster unit right as, once again, Starscream has Megatron on the end of a gun, right? Like, he's ready to fucking kill him. Some Dak fucking steals his head, and he says, "Total ownage, noob."
Which is like the only tolerable example of that line I think I could have dealt with.
He's busting fucking Master Chief's balls over it.
Yeah.
But of course, it's really funny how quickly the clones betray Starscream, because they're Starscream. They're all bits of Starscream.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, his head goes. His head goes,
and then very quickly Megatron detaches the headmaster unit with a well-placed cannon blast. So Starscream's body is just like inert, and all of the clones look at that and look at Megatron and go, "Oh, Lord Megatron, we are so happy to serve you." My favorite bit, because obviously that's Sunstorm going like, glorious Megatron, I'm so happy we have seen the light of your ways. But the best bit is when Ramjet is standing over Starscream and goes, "I'll never betray you," and then just kicks his body.
Yeah.
And just walks over.
Ramjet's pretty fucking funny, I have to say.
So it's funny when a guy just lies for literally no reason. So things have gone really bad.
Yeah.
All of the Autobots are currently knocked out. The Decepticons just got 4 new guys, pretty much. Blitzwing and Lugnut have been released from their cuffs, and the space bridge is working again because, guess what? The coordinates they needed for Cybertron, Shockwave has them.
You wouldn't believe it, but... and this is the point where, so Megatron's like, I will get put in the coordinates now. And it's like, how could you, I think it's Prowl maybe, who's like, but no, Bulkhead again is like,
yes.
It's like, but you, how could you get them? That would mean you'd have someone on Cybertron. And Bumblebee's like, yeah, duh, Wasp, we've been through this, we know this. And Shockwave appears on the screen. He's like, no, you dolt, it's me. And Bumblebee looks at him and goes, who are you? And then he like transforms into Longarm, and he's like, your friend, Longarm.
Bro.
And Bulkhead's like, oh shit, Bumblebee, you contributed to the police state.
Bumblebee, you ruined Wasp's life for no fucking reason. Yeah, it's very funny that Shockwave is just drunk on the victory juice. He's like, it's gonna happen. Finally, I get to
really
get these idiots.
Smart guy.
It's like Shockwave, what a moment for your logic to lapse. Prime Shockwave would have never done this.
No. Prime Shockwave is built so different.
But
God,
yeah,
I can't wait for us to get to more Prime Shockwave.
In fact, he wouldn't have been an espionage guy. Prime Shockwave does not do espionage. He is a very straightforward man, that Prime Shockwave.
Yeah, he's like, I have covert strategy. It's called gun.
My arm is a cannon the size of a small 18-wheeler. That is my strategy. It's like, well, no, we need a spy. I do not understand that. I do not understand that question. Why, I will simply reduce my enemy to a steaming pile of slag.
I mean, he does have like the little drones in Prime.
He does. But yeah, Prowl is doing some ninja shit. He is humming because he can use mind over matter shit. Or
he's like trying to like hum the exact correct frequency
to
open the locks.
Sorry, it's processor over matter.
We love the jargon, folks.
He's trying to hum he's trying to phase through the cuffs.
He's trying to hit the brown note.
And Moleby's like, "Shut the fuck up, dude! That's annoying." At this point, Sari and Ratchet have Omega Supreme flying again. They get him out of the mountain.
Oh yeah. Omega Supreme arrives on the scene, transforms into root mode, and Slipstream, who is the only one with a brain there besides Megatron, is like, "Okay, fire on his legs." Get his legs.
So what happens is first Teletran 1 flies in the ship, and all of the Megatron commands all of the Decepticons to attack it, and they almost shoot him down, and Omega can't. He's having trouble transforming because it's been a while. It's been a few million years.
Yeah, he's making the like G1 sad old man noises when it comes to transforming.
But they managed to pump him with enough Allspark juices to get him to transform, and man, is it fucking cool. He's made of so many guns. At some point in the past...
He has all the guns Swindle didn't take.
Yeah, he has the rest of the guns. All of the guns the Autobots made were in Omega Supreme.
Right.
He took all of them. Ratchet at some point before this explained to Sari that Omega Supreme, sacrificed himself to end the war, and he entered a modified stasis lock where he took on the ship form. When you think about it, Ratchet's been flying around in his boyfriend's comatose body for like 2 million years. That's weird.
Hot.
Something's going on there, but he's back. He's back and he's full of guns. Very, is that canon? Is it canon?
Is it canon?
Is it canon?
Is it canon?
Yeah, so Omega's having some trouble, but Ratchet reminds him of who he is. He's Omega Goddamn Supreme. I like this bit, where Sari's like, Jesus, this ship's got attitude problems, and Ratchet's like, he was our last line of defense. Do you know how many people Omega Supreme has watched die? A lot. Like, so many guys, so many friends of his have just died around him. So yeah, he's a little sad. He's a little bit fucked up about it, but it's okay. And he just fucking wastes all these Decepticons.
It is okay. The one who gets it the worst is
Lugnut.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Lugnut. Holy shit, he gets vaporized.
Yeah, it looks like he gets straight up vaporized. You see him flying away a bit later, but damn. He gets a full-on blast from Omega's main cannon. I think Sunstorm gets a head butted.
Also, yeah, no, it's bad. Though I will say, the stuff to get there, we did talk about, the old man groans or whatever, but it does feel, legitimately cruel to Omega Supreme. That Ratchet's, it kind of feels like Ratchet's, whipping a workhorse.
A little bit.
A little bit! To be you can do it, dude!
He deploys these, he shoves magnets into these things.
And he tells Sari to give her everything she's got with the Allspark key. Give him and it's dude, you can't do that.
It's I'm sure in any other situation, Ratchet would very much like to take it slow. But we gotta stop this fucking invasion. We gotta blow up this space bridge. We gotta punch Blitzwing into a billion pieces.
We need to vaporize Lugnut.
We need to murderize Lugnut immediately. What if he just died there?
Into a fine mist. Yeah, I was I literally watched that and my jaw dropped. I was like, what?
God, what if all of these... He just killed all of... He does that in the... By the way, the Japanese manga for Transformated, The Cool, is called... insanely violent. You know all those Starscream clones? Omega Supreme murders all of them.
Yeah, they die badly.
They die badly. Not here though.
Yeah.
But
so,
yes,
Prowl,
things are happening.
Yeah, down in the mine, Prowl is able to actually hit the brown note.
He breaks those cuffs.
This is as Megatron is going to use Optimus as a test, because he's like, well, just in case the coordinates don't work, go fuck yourself, dude.
I love this line. He's like, in case the coordinates aren't properly locked in, you'll just float around in space forever. And if they are locked in, and Shockwave like clinks his claws together, it's like, I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah,
to kill you.
That
we should say their plan, by the way. I don't know if we ever fully, because it's not just like Megatron not expecting to take over the whole planet with like 6 dudes, right? Like that's not his plan.
Right. Yes.
His plan is actually extremely smart. As we remember, he has been drawing away the Elite Guard with all of these like RimWorld skirmishes from like Decepticon sleeper cells. So his plan is that he's just going to take the main space bridge like Nexus and just literally transport all of his troops back onto Cybertron from like every corner of the galaxy. Yeah.
So anyway, Optimus is about to get
yeeted.
Megatron's like tossing him up and down in one hand, and
yeah.
Prowl's able to free himself from the stasis cuff quickly enough not to stop Optimus from getting yeeted, but to shut down
the stasis cuffs.
His stasis cuffs as that's happening, allowing him to send his
grapple hook
out, wrap it around Megatron's arm. That's really cool. And use Megatron as an anchor to get himself back through the bridge.
Yeah, and at this point, the space bridge is collapsing. And by collapsing, I mean sort of a black hole style of situation here.
Yeah, in imploding.
Yeah, so Megatron gets sucked in. It's going nuclear.
Well, not quite yet, because first, after Optimus gets back, it starts to shut down, and Megatron's like, needs more juice. So he goes over to Starscream.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yes, he grabs Starscream, who, again, just ahead at this point, after Sumdac removed his head from using the Headmaster, stuck to the wall with Master Cement. So he grabs Starscream's head, and I thought he was just going to rip the Allspark out. But no, what he does is much funnier, actually. He rips Starscream's head off the wall, walks over to the power source, and just shunts his entire head in there, which is very good. However, this is in fact the opposite of what creates the opposite problem of what he had before, because now it's not underpowered, but it is overpowered, and it's overloading, and this creates the black hole.
Yeah, this is why it starts exploding. So Megatron gets yeeted through it.
And again, hand in unlovable hand, tries to grab Optimus to go with him.
Yeah, he is always trying, but it's okay. Omega Supreme is here, and you know what he loves to do? He loves to sacrifice himself for his friends, and Ratchet's like, please God, no.
I have to say, it's pretty hard to watch this scene and not think that Ratchet fucked up supremely in this episode. In a number of different ways.
I think he also comes to that conclusion. For sure. He's like, oh God, I fucked up so bad. Because Omega absorbs all the transwarp energies.
Ratchet, wake up, you fucked up big time.
Omega. He absorbs all of the transwarp energy and just fucking whoops away after ejecting Ratchet and Sari.
Which is a bummer, but hey, everyone else is okay. So
except Mixmaster and Scrapper, who stayed in the cave-in to get their oil.
Like Bulkhead's like, are you coming with us? And they're like, no, we gotta save the oil. So it's fine. Everyone who counts is safe. And that is a great end of the season. And there's nothing else that happens in this episode.
And they're like, oh, Omega Supreme's still out there somewhere. We can find him. He's like, he's somewhere out there. And Sari's holding her arm. It got scratched up when Omega ejected them. And she's like,
well, I can't wait to have to go to my human home and have some human ice cream
Yeah,
for
so
human dessert.
I'm gonna hug my father.
My human father.
And then she looks at her elbow, and oops, the skin is torn, and there's a bunch of fucking mechanical shit under there.
Uh-oh, sisters!
Yep. And she is horrified. The way that some deck says we have to talk is like, he's like, oh god, I have to have the talk.
Yeah.
So you're a robot.
So when a motherboard and a silicon wafer love each other very much.
Meanwhile, Sari is like clearly
she's horrified,
spiraling.
Yeah.
There's a post-credit scene, by the way.
Oh yeah, welcome to Divorced 2.
They're the get along shirt. So Megatron.
It's not so much a post-credit scene as just a credit scene. The credits play over this. So
Megatron in the stasis cuffs and Starscream as a disembodied head are just floating forever and have nothing to do but argue with each other.
Yeah. And they sure do. And that is the true end of the episode.
This would be a crazy canceled early season. God. Because like there's so many loose ends. Not just the Sari thing, but like everything else too. It's like, that's it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's season 2.
We have a bunch of questions. Let's power through these really quickly because there's a lot of them and it's a long episode anyway.
That's right. Let me check Twitter real quick. Do we get any on X.com, the everything app?
Zitter?
Yeah, Zitter. We have one from Cass. What is cosplay? That ending? That is a crazy ending. What's the weirdest secret you've heard about someone? I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret.
Oh, no, I'll spill tea about people that none of you know. That's fine.
I just can't think of anything right now, actually.
I think, like, the weirdest secret I know about someone is, like, finding out they cheated on their wife. He cheated on his wife. With someone while she was going through, like, a bipolar episode.
Oh, man.
Which maybe isn't like weirdest, but it's pretty fucking bad.
It's the wildest one. It's like information you learn to go, uh-oh.
Yeah. So
a little timer pops up in the corner of your vision that just starts counting down. It's like, I don't know what that's for.
Yeah.
Ominous. And Cass's other question here was, do the Starscream clones unionize? No. Are you kidding me? They're all Starscream. They're always gonna backstab each other.
Yeah. I mean, the Prime ones get closer, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the Prime ones, here's the thing about the Prime ones, is that they're all the same personality.
Like, listen, one of them, Sunstorm is literally a pathological sycophant, and Ramjet lies all the time. That's not a good union.
Yeah. Yeah, but
who are you choosing for? Who are you bringing to collective bargaining? Slipstream is the only choice.
Slipstream is I mean, you want like a couple of them. So like Starscream main, probably Slipstream, and maybe Sunstorm actually. Butter them up.
That's right. Yeah, that seems like the play. You don't want Thundercracker in there.
Don't want Thundercracker in there. Don't want. I mean, Ramjet would be an interesting play. Don't want Skywarp in there.
Skywarp would just like apologize all the time and be like, please don't fire me.
Okay. We get to move on?
Yeah, Discord time.
Yeah. Okay. First up, from Slipstream Sam, which Starscream clones / Seekers in general would get owned the hardest by Kevin McAllister's Piles of Pain, or a similar Cybertronian equivalent to the scenario, whatever, you know the drill?
Skywarp.
I mean, it depends on what version of Skywarp. If we're talking about animated, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we're talking about these guys, clones.
Yeah, in that case, animated, no question.
Seekers in general, there is actually a Seeker who is a canonical misery magnet. That's Dirge.
That is Dirge, yeah.
So
I don't know that would mean he gets owned the hardest, though. But I do think just like the Coneheads as a trio probably get owned pretty hard.
Yeah, they're all significant. Yeah.
The Coneheads just are the guys who suck.
If you specifically pair like G1 Ramjet and Dirge, they get owned really hard.
Yeah.
Because Ramjet's whole thing is that he's so fucking dumb, he literally just headbutts everything. Like, he just runs into things with his head.
And Thrust is too much of an egomaniac to do anything.
Yeah, like, he's not gonna participate in this shit, but Dirge, obviously.
Okay. Nero from Disney Minus Vera asks, in the silly Scottish voice, if you could clone yourself, would you? No.
Too much work. Like,
from really, like, speaking very genuinely from an ethical standpoint, that makes me so uncomfortable.
Be fucked up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, all of these guys know they're clones, but that would be fucked up in real life. One of the best depictions of, like, clone characters I've ever seen is from Invincible, the Mauler twins. Because
oh my god, those are really good.
They remove the knowledge of which one is the original, so they both think they're the original, because otherwise they would have a fucking existential crisis.
Yeah. And I just and even outside of that, it's just like there's like things about like personhood and like when you become your own person kind of stuff that it's just like I would not like to be cloned.
No, yeah, that'd be weird. Yeah, it's like sometimes like it would be nice if I could just astral project into like send a copy of myself into work so I could just chill all day. But I've seen too many fucking stories about, doing that, and then your like mirror copy comes to fucking kill you or something.
Veer also asks, oh no, you've just found out that you're some kind of robot person. Your parents were actively keeping it a secret. Whatever will you do? Cope badly seems to be the answer.
I don't know how I'd be able to handle that. I would probably, it depends on what I could do. If I was just like if I could have, I'm sure I figured I had cool robot powers, I guess. What kind of robot am I? Can I like fly? If I could fly, I'd kind of be okay with that.
If I could still fuck nasty, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, is that canon though?
Is it canon though?
Is it canon?
I guess we're keeping that in, huh?
It's a good bit.
Me, Mr. Gay, Daphnis asks, hey, why does TFA Optimus have lips like that? I think it's so he can to...
Yeah, that is why he has those.
Yep.
Like Overlord. Luscious lips for no damn reason.
Aurora Animated asks, given enough time to prepare, could Kevin McAllister defeat a Decepticon? Bonus, who do you think the most powerful Decepticon he could reasonably defeat? Yes, he could.
He could definitely defeat a Decepticon. I don't think he could defeat, like...
I would say he could
Megatron.
Probably defeat Overlord.
Yeah, maybe. Overlord, that's playing with fire. He's a dangerous one, but he is also, like... He's a little blinded by pride.
Yeah, or Tarn. Again, I don't think he could take on the entire DJD, but I think if it was just Tarn... I don't think he could take on the entire DJD, but I think if it was Tarn in isolation...
Yeah, I think maybe he could get rid of Tarn. He could definitely...
Tarn's a little weenie.
He is. He's like...
Tarn
is...
All the... I think a lot of people, because of how deadly he is, overlook how truly pathetic Tarn is.
He is. He's like a fucking wannabe Megatron. He's like like this little poser. And like, yeah, he's cool and he's got a scary power, but ultimately he's just some fucking guy.
Yep.
And we see how all that turns out for him. Doesn't turn out well, I'll tell you that much. Doesn't go well for old Tarn.
Veer asks again, with zero prep time, how many Decepticons could Weird Al defeat within 24 hours, and how many gags per minute is he getting?
Okay, the second answer to that one is like at least one per minute, maybe two. Like, it's a high quantity. I don't know.
So here's the thing, like, I don't think Weird Al could defeat big robots.
That's right. He's not really like a traps guy. He's like a goof guy. I think he could.
And this isn't even talking about traps. This is just front and up and down defeat. I don't think Weird Al could defeat a Decepticon. I'm gonna be real with you.
He's not clever in that way, but he is. He's like.
I think
he could befriend a Decepticon with prep time. That's what I think.
Yeah, but this is and with zero prep time though. Yeah, I don't think it's happening, Veer. I'm gonna be honest. Veer also has a second question, which Transformers character is who in this video, and there's a video below. I'm going to make the executive decision that we're not going to answer that one because we don't have time.
It's too long. 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Sidewinder Sabrina asks, what does the female clone of Starscream represent?
The gay part.
The competent gay part.
Yep. Yeah, the gay girl boss part.
How many animated Starscreams would it take to 1, screw in a light bulb, and 2, actually defeat Megatron in combat? Well,
I think like 3 on the second one.
Well, 3 did not work this time.
Look, outside interference. It worked both times. Like Starscream, Ramjet, and Slipstream had him like twice.
That's true.
But outside interference,
And I think as long as it was the right one, a single one could screw in the light bulb. Slipstream could screw in a light bulb.
Yeah, Slipstream could do it. Starscream could do it. Beyond that, it's
Thundercracker
dubious.
probably could.
He'd spend a long time talking about how good he is at screwing in light bulbs, though.
That's true, but that doesn't mean he couldn't do it.
It would take an hour and a half, but he would get around to it eventually.
Yeah, we put no stipulations on screwing in the light bulb. As long as it gets done, that's what matters, and I think he could do it.
Skywarp would be too afraid of it shattering in his hand.
Ramjet would lie about it. He did
it.
Yeah.
He's like, I can clearly see it on the floor there. No, you can't.
And Sunstorm would be too overwhelmed by his adoration of others' skills screwing in light bulb to do it himself.
I would not deny you such an opportunity to work on it yourself.
Though I will say, Sunstorm could do it if he saw someone else do it first.
Yes.
Because he does use the stasis cuff on Prowl after seeing Prowl do it to, I can't even remember which one. Thundercracker, maybe?
It's Ramjet. He cuffs Ramjet. Because Ramjet then says, I was never cuffed.
Right, that's right. It's my pleasure to help you get out of here. I was never...
Yes. I was never stuck.
Yeah. Okay. Also, why was any of the Autobots surprised Bulkhead was an expert on space bridges? The thing he went to boot camp for specifically.
Like I said, they don't take interest in their friends' interests.
Yeah. And also...
talk to him enough.
And also, what the hell is wrong with Isaac belittling Bulkhead? Why was Megatron the only one who believes in him?
It's fucked up.
It's yeah, we talked about it. It's not good.
Bulkhead should join the Decepticons. Look, think about it. He'd be appreciated there. He can befriend.
I'm not sure. Nero, I'm not sure that's true.
Well, at least he could befriend the Constructicons again. He did it once. He could do it again. They're easy
that
to get
he could do.
With.
I'm not sure that he would be appreciated by the Decepticons, though. I think that might be a stretch.
He's more appreciated than he is now.
Also not sure about that, homie. Veer asks, how many Starscreams did it take to bring down the Queen of England, and how many out of that number survived?
Which one did it?
A Starscream original, babe.
Yeah, and it only takes one.
Yeah. And, I mean, all he did was breathe on her.
You just strafe that old biddy's castle a few times, you'll get her. Null rays.
She'd been dead. She'd actually been dead for months by the time he got to her. Just like Kissinger.
God.
You cannot convince me at this point that they are not Weekend at Bernieing.
Yeah,
Kissinger's corpse. He's been dead for like 2 years.
That man is taxidermied. His body, his brain hasn't caught up with his body yet.
Yeah.
So his body's been dead for like a year and a half. He just doesn't know it yet.
Sobwitch in the Fog asks, how do you think the Starscream clones would interact with their namesakes and vice versa?
Honestly, a lot of them are not very similar to their counterparts at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like
the G1 ones, I feel like the Elite Shrine would all hate them.
Oh yeah, like
Skywarp.
Who are these guys?
Skywarp would hate animated Skywarp. I think that's probably the worst one.
Yes. Yeah.
Thundercracker would not enjoy animated Thundercracker, but like
I know who would love their animated counterpart. I know who would adore their animated counterpart.
Sunstorm.
Yeah, because he would always have someone to tell him how cool he is.
Sunstorm, and yeah, right, and then they can like praise the sun together.
That's right.
They can be a little religious. Yeah, Sunstorm gets to start a cult with his clone.
Ramjet's too stupid to care about any of this shit. Like I said, his thing is literally he runs into things with his head.
Yeah, his name named Ramjet. Like what?
He's the most concussed man in the universe.
Slipstream would probably get along pretty well with her later counterparts.
Yeah, because that's the weird thing, right? Because like, yeah, this is actually the first Slipstream. This is the progenitor,
right? But she would probably get along with like Cyberverse Slipstream and,
or would their personalities clash? Because like they're both so fucking go-getters.
I think they would figure it out.
Yeah,
I think they would recognize people trying to pit two bad bitches against each other.
That's right. They're not going to allow that shit. They're better than
that. From Aurora again. Did Ratchet and the Omega Supreme explore each other's bodies? Yep.
Yes, we established this. He did fuck that old man. Did fuck that ship many times.
Do you ship it from Veer? Yes.
Ruby says he is the ship. Which is all this is true.
Also from Veer, how would you feel if Fanzone was in other Transformers media? Not like with the Transformers, where it's that universe's version of the character, but literally the same guy. He just moved cities and unknowingly hopped universes. So you get situations like Optimus, greetings, I am Fanzone. Optimus Prime, yeah, I could tell from the paint job. You guys all really like red and blue for whatever reason.
I mean, and put him in any of them, he's always going to be miserable. Although I want to see him in the Bayverse.
Yeah, he always hates robots.
That's right. When the rules of the Bayverse, he can murder those guys. Humans can kill Transformers in that universe, and I think he'd be really happy about that. Imagine Fanzone doing the thing from the first movie where he's sliding around along the ground and shooting Blackout in the dick and balls.
Yeah, I think he would be really excited to
He would found Cemetery Wind.
Yeah, to enact robot violence.
He would. He'd love it. He'd be like, "Oh, finally, my time to shine. Let's get this bread." He blows up one of those fucking NASCAR guys with like a bomb. I don't know. Can you believe those are the wreckers in that fucking universe?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Ruby Road Rage. Ruby asks, which ship, real or fictional, seaborne or airborne or spaceborne, living or sentient or otherwise, would you like to symbiotically bond with?
Is that what we're calling it these days? Is that canon?
The Enterprise.
Enterprise is pretty good. It's got a lot of history, too.
It's got a lot of history, got a lot of good captains in there, gone to a lot of frontiers.
Ooh. I gotta think on this one.
It's got good bones.
I was gonna say like a boat, but I've never actually been on a boat. I want to, because I like boats. I like reading and watching stuff about like old ocean liners and stuff. But like all the ones I like are sunk. I want to hang out with the Queen Mary. This shit's boring. I don't care how many ghosts are in there. Shit. Like, whenever you get these questions, your brain instantly forgets every ship. It just ejects out of my skull. It's like I don't know what a ship is. What kind of is what about holy shit, I really did just forget every spaceship. Move on. Okay. I literally can't think of anything. It's all gone.
Our last question is, what's the most fuckable ship? And since you still can't think of ships, I'll answer. It's the Normandy from Mass Effect, because it has a navigation system that has a sexy robot body.
Literally the most fuckable ship.
Yeah.
You can fuck that. You can fuck.
You can fuck that ship. You can fuck the Normandy.
You can fuck that ship. That's all anyone wanted on Mass Effect. They just wanted to fuck the ship. Just like Ratchet.
Still got nothing, huh, bud?
Boats and ships don't exist to me anymore. I don't know how it all works. No, I got nothing. Literally my brain feels like it is the radiator overheated and I'm just like leaking out of my right ear or something. So let's end the episode.
Sounds good.
Before I forget any other important information.
The fucking billionaire submarine is the most fuckable ship because it kills billionaires.
That's right. What a brave hero.
Because it does praxis.
Vaporizing all those guys at once. Just like Omega Supreme, the self-sacrifice is so great. Well, that's been Transformers Animated Season 2, and we have been Prime Cuts. Find us on Twitter, PrimeCutsPod, and on NoiseSpace.xyz with all sorts of other shows that you can listen to about basically anything you can imagine. It's there. Just think about it.
Mostly pop culture.
Are you thinking of something? There's a show about that. No, not that. That's too esoteric.
I don't think esoteric is the issue. The levels of esoteric are the issue with Noise Space shows.
Well, that one's... I don't know why anyone would make a podcast about that. That one's just weird. Anyway, I'm Nero. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher. Blue Sky Dragon Smoocher. Nope. Wrong. Dragon Snuggler. Nope. Wrong. Double wrong. Triple wrong. Boats.
You're having like what I was having last week.
I'm having a real brain fart moment. It is a fucking well done egg in there right now. I am on co-host at Dragon Smoocher.
Jesus God, Nero.
Dragon Snuggler. Blue Sky, Nero Wyvern, Tumblr, Cyclonus with a 5 on the end of it. I really should check if the real one's available.
It won't be.
It probably isn't. Other shows, Radio Free Heidelin, HeidelinRadio.tumblr.com/Radio Free Heidelin. Talk Cycles, same thing, Talk Cycles. Teen Titans Season 2 coming up. It's Terra time. You like rocks? You like angst? This season's got a lot of it. That's it for me.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr, Twitter, co-host, and Blue Sky at Optimum on Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do called Pod of Greed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's also on Noise Space. I've been cast in a radio drama that will be having more information coming out soon because we are almost done with the edit for it, so that will be coming out soon. And I'm starting a New York foodie podcast on the Moonshot Network called I'm Eating Here. And that's me. So, until next time. What am I going to do until next time? I also have to figure out what we're going to watch next. That's something.
Yeah, you gotta think about our next selection for the new year.
Yeah. I'm going to grab Nero as my personal shield to any projectiles that come my way, transform and roll out.
Ow. Ow. Why did you do that? I was going to transform her out, but now I'm all covered in fucking laser holes and I can't fucking move.
It's rough, buddy.
Peach.